Second. There.
Hi, everyone. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and a greater peace of mind. HPH goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of HPH meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you. That was perfect. And I try to always mute myself now because my typing always makes noise. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read Amy's short bio and then we'll get started. And again, I'm just so happy that Amy's here. It's always wonderful to be able to have her on here. As you know, recently she channeled for us as well, which is another skill that she has besides being an incredible medium. Amy Utsman is an accomplished medium, psychic, and teacher. When you have a reading with her, you can expect grace, humor, and a down-to-earth style. Her readings are highly accurate, detailed, and empowering. She communicates with the other side in an organized way so that she can bring through multiple spirits and complex messages in each session. Amy has multiple certifications and has been a professional full-time psychic medium since 2009 and has done thousands of readings. She also teaches all levels of mediumship, from people who simply want to connect with their own loved ones to experienced practicing professionals. Amy is deeply spiritual, but also very grounded in the realities of being a physical medium in a physical being in a physical world. As a teacher, Amy's approach is the whole medium, developing the technical skills of the craft along with personal development for psychological and emotional balance. Based in the US, she reads for clients all over the world. You can learn more about her at www.amyutsman.com. And without further ado, I'm not sure why I had an echo there. Please join me in welcoming beautiful Amy Utsman. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you, Elizabeth and Lisa, and hi, everyone. It's always an honor to be here. I really thought that was the short bio. It's just...
It was very short.
No, that is very long. So anyway, I'd like to really thank you for having me again. And tonight we're going to focus on trying to do as many readings, for you as possible. Oddly, I have a little bit of nerves, but I think it's just the excitement from your children in the spirit world is a little bit extra revved up tonight, which is always enjoyable in a good way. And just a couple of things before we get started, because I always like to think of, every group will never be replicated. Even if the same individuals join another day, it's still the energy of the group will never be replicated exactly the same way. And I think it's important for us to, you guys are already a supportive community with one another, but I always think it's also good if we could just almost visualize ourselves kind of all holding hands together in the same space, regardless of where in the world you might be joining from. So if we could just take one brief, very brief moment to imagine that you are connected in a physical space where you could feel that energy with one another. So if you could just do that for a second. And when we're doing readings, I know, of course, everyone wants to be able to have a connection. And oftentimes in groups like this, there will be multiple similarities amongst people amongst your loved ones, right? But at some point, we'll get locked in. It's a locked in feeling. May want to go direct, or your child may want to connect me direct with you. So I think it's really important that we always listen to what is being shared by them, even though perhaps the reading might not be directly for you, because I always like to say we're going to learn the most from the spirit world, right? Which is just amazing. So with that being said, we're about to get started here in a second because I have a mail already really pushing fast here. So we are going to get started in a second. But that being said, once I check in with you, if you wouldn't mind, if you can take like 80% at minimum of the information at the start, and I will be very clear on what are the important aspects. If you could take at least 80%, then I think they put their hands up, or I forget how you guys do it. I don't remember from group to group.
We ask them to just write it in the chat box, and
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. And then please just say, yes, it makes sense. No, it doesn't. Or if you can't relate or unsure, it's maybe. Just those kinds of things. Try not to expand upon the information, as excited as you may get. I can understand the excitement, the want, the feelings behind all of this. And one last thing, and then I promise this guy will get started here. One last thing is, please give yourself credit for doing this for you tonight. Even though a reading may not be directly for you at the moment, the messages will be. Spirit world just has a magical way of doing this for all of us. So give yourselves credit for being here for you. Okay. So thank you for listening to me there for that moment. And let's begin. Because I have a younger gentleman, I call him a gentleman, but a younger male here that is wanting to connect right off the bat. Very bouncy guy. A younger male. I'd probably, if I had to place an age to him, I'd put him through the ages around 19 to 22. That's important because that's about the age I'm seeing him. And when I say bouncy, there's a lift in his step. He's average build, sometimes could be a little bit on the slimmer side. But you can see when he's walking, he's got a bounce, a little lift in those heels as he's walking. And I can see the very worn tennis shoes as well. He has other tennis shoes, mind you, in his closet. And some of them are still in the house that he lived in. So not his house, but in your home. There's still some of his tennis shoes in the home, but yet he had a favorite pair that are so worn. And then you have to question, why did we have to buy more tennis shoes, is what he's saying. So these are the little bits I'm getting from him. He's not really talking about his transition. He says he's done this before. He doesn't want to talk about his transition. I get that. And we are in April. March, early March is a very significant month tied to this younger man. I know he doesn't really want to talk about his transition, but I will say this just to help clarify a little bit, and we'll do a check-in. But I can hear a lot of arguments that would have happened in the household tied to some of the ups and downs with him. And at times it feels like even maybe we'd say, no, you can't come in today based on, it feels like substances, if I'm going to be clear. So some issues with that. So let's do a check-in there. because even though he's so excited, the flow is not exactly where I'd like it to be, but that's me. So who can relate to this, please?
So we have Amy saying that Brandon, okay, bouncy angel date March 21st, substance abuse or substance use. Let's see. Danny can take all of this information as well.
Okay.
We can say good yes. And Amy says, but he was 28. So it needs to be 19 to 22. I know that Amy said that she was.
Yeah.
So Sissy saying my son had a bouncy step and he passed in early March 8th, and had substance use issues. So
Who was that last name?
Sissy Tabor.
Can we,
Oh, he says,
okay, I'm just seeing the chat there.
yeah.
There was somebody before,
And he's saying my son is 17 and she says that she can take all.
Danny was the one that could take all of this.
Yeah, she can.
Okay, let's bring
Okay.
Danny on if we
So
could.
let's go ahead and find
I've
her.
asked her to
Oh, you
unmute.
have already. Good. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm looking for her.
Oh, I
Hold
see
on
her.
and I'll
There she is. She's got.
need to spotlight her, Elizabeth.
Yes, we can. There we go.
Oh, hi there.
Hi.
Hi. Your son looks a little bit like you, Danny.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Except for the hair.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of similarity except for the hair. He looks like you. Okay. All right, several things. Because he's telling me he's very clear that he's done this before. So he's absolutely clear that this would not be the first communication through, I guess, a medium, if you will, that
Right.
he's done this before, right?
Yeah.
And but he says that I cannot miss an opportunity to not do this. And I'm seeing a lot of LPs, which I know are starting to make a comeback. These aren't tied to him, but they're tied to you. But also the reason that he's showing me these LPs is it's tied to music. And I know music is important to him, but it's also not, it's a variety of music. And some of it is what he would consider to be like old fashioned. So as I'm sorry to say it this way, Danny, because you're not old by any stretch of the imagination, but some of your music even old fashioned, right?
Yeah.
So this is why he's showing the LPs in this way. Now, he loves to do this down your back. So you get tingles, I know, because look at the fingers. He likes to do this down the back because he says she's so stressed, she needs a massage. And she's been wanting to get a massage, but she's putting that money aside. And he says, no, you have to treat yourself. You have to treat yourself to that massage. And so in his own way, he's trying to give that to you. And I'm getting just, so much love and so much overwhelm from him. He's a just beautiful young man. And I know he has said this before, but he's saying it again, that you still have not come to the full place of understanding some of the difficult decisions you made while he was here. You haven't fully accepted that. Like the time couldn't like let him in the home, if you will, and he says, but that was the right thing to do. You had to do that. And so he says that I can't help her get that changed up fully. You understand? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And the shoes, it's almost like you want to like bronze the shoes. It's like the way that he gives it. I don't think you really want to, but the way that he gives it, how they used to do the little bronze shoes back in the baby shoes.
Yep.
If she could, she would like save them perfect. And I know this might sound a little different, Danny, but he says, but she's actually put her feet in them more than once.
I have.
And so
they're big. They're really big, but yes.
Yes, because it's like like 4 sizes too big for you. I mean, they're, and the thing is the way he puts it is his feet were actually a little bit too big for his body, for his height. It's the way that he puts it. So there's a lot of humor in this, right?
Yes.
I mean, he does have a great sense of humor. But that being said, it's still, what he's saying is not everybody in the family is still on board, and you can't force everybody to be on board. He's being very clear about this. Okay, so you know, uh keep the gifts between us and those that will listen. He says the rest will come on board later, when they're
Okay.
seeking their own peace tied to some other individuals, when it's their time to transition. That's the phrasing he's using, right? And
Yes.
so he wants to thank you, though, for mentioning his name at every turn, because you never stop and you do it with your head held up high.
Yes.
And so he wants to thank you for that. And I just need to give you a big love and appreciation from this. I want to call him a young man, but he's like, I'm an adult, but I still want to call him a young man, you know? So let me give you a lot of love from him, and just the deepest appreciation. And we were talking about this earlier. I don't know if you know, but the writing to him, like
Yes.
writing letters to him. He says, keep that up. I like it. It's a great exercise for us.
Yeah, I haven't written in a long time or read, and now I'm reading and I'm writing and I'm trying to do the automatic writing, and I'm working hard on trying to do all the things that I need to and can do.
Try to take the word, if you don't mind, need to, out of this.
Okay.
Because all the things that you're trying, allow him to join you, because otherwise it's like you're doing all the work and he's wanting to do the work with you. The writing really works well for him, and he's wanting to
Okay.
do that with you. So try not to put too much pressure on yourself, but allow.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. And I give you lots of love from him. And I know there's like, it looks like a grandmother with him in the spirit world as well. So and a couple of dogs, but let me give you that love from him. All right.
Thank you so much. I needed that so badly. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Danny. But thank him.
Thank you,
him.
Devin.
There
Yes.
you go. Because
It's
they're the
great.
ones who make us look good, I think, sometimes.
Yes, they do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Beautiful.
awesome, Devin. That's wonderful. Thank you, Amy. So
Okay.
again, let's just remind everybody, if you do get a validation, if you could send something to me for the newsletter at elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org, that would be wonderful. It's a great way to thank Amy for her time, as well as to uplift all of the other parents who read the newsletter. And sorry, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. You know me, Elizabeth, I like to just go. So we're gonna go to there's a younger female here, a daughter, and unfortunately was quite ill while she was here. She's a little bit smaller in her size due to health issues. So I can only see her like the appearance wise would make her look like 7 or 8, but she's closer to like 10. So she looks a little bit younger, but it was due to health issues. But I keep seeing with her dance, like she wants to dance. I don't want to say fully always just like ballet, but dance is a big thing, and she's going to try and keep dancing until, well, now she can dance as much as she'd like in the spirit world, but here while she was here in the physical world, she would try to dance regardless of how, and I'm sorry to say it this way, I don't want to get visceral, but the weakness that she would feel. And just I even can see like lipstick on, like as though we're getting ready for a show. Like even being made up, like I'm getting ready for a show. And I know that mom is here, but it feels like almost like dad either was supposed to be here or is here. I can't tell the difference actually between the two. So I apologize for that. Yeah, is there anybody they can, let's check in here.
So let us know in the chat box if you can take these different things that Amy's bringing through right now.
Yeah, I feel bad for what she and you all went through, because I feel like we were in and out of the hospital quite a bit. And we just weren't able to turn this around. And sometimes cancer and leukemia may feel the same to me, but this does feel throughout the body with her. Bright, just bright young girl. I mean, it's like, even if I have to go to the hospital for treatment, I'm gonna dance my way in. She's just so upbeat, regardless of what's going on here. And I'm not, I'm kind of drawn to the northeastern part of the United States, like, because I know it's a cold state, colder state. So I'm drawn towards the northeast area. No one.
Might be someone who's supposed to get it later on, that's for
Oh
sure.
no, no, that's not typical.
No, it's not.
It's not typical at all. If we change the age, and I don't like to change things, but she still would have to be young. Because the dance, I can see it so clearly in my mind. I can see her so clearly in my mind's eye, dressed, like to dance, like ballerina, the show, the hair, back, everything. The age could be a little bit off, only because she looks small in stature and thinner due to health, and she was born healthy. That's the clear thing as well. Absolutely born healthy. And your father would be in the spirit world with her as well. Wow, this is unusual that no one can take this at all.
I know. I've never seen
I've
this
never
happen.
had that happen.
Again, I think it must be someone who's going to be able to take it later on. Maybe Lisa has some ideas. Okay. I remember a young girl came through before with the same attributes, and the parents were not in the group. It's interesting, Debbie. I know of a girl who I think it might be, but her parents are both usually on the meeting, and I'm not sure if they're here this evening, but
You know of a young girl that this would fit for?
yeah,
Elizabeth?
definitely. But
Okay.
and they've had a reading before, and I can't right now think of the name of the parents. Otherwise, I would.
So otherwise you won't be able to pass on a message if you can't.
But I will. I will. I'll be able to figure it.
Okay, if you would, there's just a couple things to give as a message, and then we'll go on to the next individual. And I can feel Lisa tuning in, which I love. So if you get it, Lisa, please join in. I don't mind.
This is your gig, so no,
I
please go
know,
right
but
ahead.
I never mind
Sending
double
you
ranking. Okay, so what's important here, Elizabeth, is she's letting me know that her mother has had a setback in grief. This is the thing, and that she's quite concerned about her mother having this setback and not reaching out to people. Now I'm gonna say, look, it's always just an adjustment. We don't get over and we don't just move through, right? But she's concerned that her mother is not reaching out for the help that she needs. And hopefully, I'm terrible with names, but if the name like Tiffany comes up around you, Elizabeth, with this, because somebody here has to know this young woman, has to, because she's just too clear. So, yeah.
I can find this without any trouble because I've had a story about this in the newsletter, and I know what
Okay.
you're.
Okay, if you can find them and pass that on, that would be brilliant, because maybe they were going to come and then didn't come. I'm not sure, but we've never had this. So, but we'll use you as an avenue, Elizabeth, if you're comfortable with that.
Of course I am. Yes,
Okay,
always.
great. All right, thank you. All right, so we're gonna shift gears, and thank you all for listening, because listen, this young girl is I don't want anybody to feel sad for her, even though it was a difficult scenario here, because she's phenomenal.
She's adorable. I know exactly who you're
Yes,
talking
so uplifting to everyone, and coming in for concern for her mother and using any avenue to reach out in that way is, well, that's what they do, and we hope to be able to pass on those messages when we can. So let's all thank her and appreciate her coming to try and watch out for her parents, but particularly her mother.
When you just said avenue, I got goosebumps, meaning that any avenue, I guess I'm the avenue. I need to do something about this.
Just
Maybe not
add
tonight
more to your
because I
plate.
have to be on here, but I will, I promise.
Okay, thank you. I know you will. I know you will. But thank you, Elizabeth. Okay. All right. So I've got another male here that's connecting. He's a little bit he's more of an adult than a younger child. So I want to go to he's kind of hard to figure out because he shows me facial hair, then he takes it away, and when he has that facial hair, he looks a little bit older, and then when you take it away, he looks younger. He's got a little bit of a rounded face like mine. I want to go to the ages like 28 to, I know it's kind of a broad range, guys, but like 28 to 34. Average build, transitioned rather suddenly. So this was a very quick transition with him. Very, very bright guy. He is not shy of his body either because of the way that he's showing himself in jeans. He's proud of his physique. He is patting his abdomen a little bit, but honestly, for him, it would be like if you have this much extra weight around the abdomen. But he says that was because like it was because he was just getting busier in career or in his life and looking to settle down is what he's talking about. And when you're looking to settle down, so I know that he had a woman in his life, because when you're looking to settle down, he says, you know, you tend to sometimes go out a little more, treat the person a little more, that kind of thing. So that was just a little, I mean, it is tiny bit. This guy has got he's a good looking man. Okay.
We have
Go ahead.
26 car accident. We also have Amy. She says Brandon was about to be engaged. Marina is saying it could be my son passed suddenly from an accidental OD, was looking to settle down.
It wasn't that. It's the one that was in it. The person who said, "Oh, I see 2 people were engaged."
Yeah, my son, PhD, engaged. Nancy Butler, OSC, as well.
I think it's the Amy, the other Amy to Amy.
Amy?
That's where I feel like I'm at. And again, listen in others, because you know they'll use one person to get the message up to the rest of you. This is not a scenario with substance in the system with this person at all. It just feels like, you know, I'm here and I'm gone, and this, for us, we would say this should not happen. I know that's what we would say here. So is that all resonating with you, Amy?
It was sudden, but it was a substance. So maybe not me.
The only way I could say, if you could take the substance, I know there's 2 of you, is you would not have known about the substance issues.
No. It was he had in the past, but he hadn't for years that we knew of.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a career. He had his career, his degree, fiance.
By chance, the fiance lighter hair?
Yeah.
Okay. And I see there's one other person that keeps saying it sounds like them, but I'm seeing the lighter hair for the fiance. And your son, was it within that age range that I
He was
stated?
28, very bright, very proud of his body.
And sometimes a little bit of facial hair, but then not.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. More not than true. More not than
Right.
yes. But with the facial hair. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I feel with him that he wants to say he's sorry. He really wants to apologize because he knew the avenues to take. Even though he didn't give me that feeling of substance, I went right to the heart. Like my heart just stopped, is the feeling I gave,
Yeah.
that I received. And so I didn't even feel that substance in my system. And he wants to promise you that it wasn't a long time with that. So this was not a long relapse that was hidden, if you will, because you would have known. He said, you can't get anything by her, he says. Just ask the others. So I take it he's not your only child, because he says, just ask the others. You cannot get anything by her, except for sometimes, Amy, you miss his signs. And he says, that's the only thing that I do get by her. I know you receive a lot of them, but on occasion, it's like he walks right in front of you. Because he's showing that, like I walk right in front of her, and you could, it's like you have to shake your head and think, did I just see somebody walk in front of me? It's that visceral with him. And
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
happened a few times recently where I'm like, did I just see something? Because I've been wanting to see him.
well, you're getting your wish, because he's shown it more than one time. I see it like 3 to 4. So you're getting your wish here. And this is I feel for all of you. I stumble over my words sometimes, but I'm going to say this with him. He wants to make sure that the apology gets through to everybody, because again, it just, the stress of the time, even though I'm going well in my life, the stress of the time, it's like, I feel like it was just like a 1-time or 2-time thing. This is not a long, it's just so quick, and so he says that I know that he's apologized already for not taking the steps that he needed to take, but he didn't, it's not the same as it was. So it'd be a different type of substance. And as we know, they're a lot different now, but it's a different type. So it's not the same as it was. And that was part of the problem.
Right. True.
With him. And he says, okay, I know this. People were going through some photographs very recently and changing them up, he says. So if there's like a social media page or a group page, because he says they were changing them up recently. And he says, it's about time. Because and if we could make sure we please keep those young school pictures out of there. All right. Because, he doesn't want any 3rd grade, 4th grade, no pictures like that, please. Okay. Now I'm understanding from him as well that there was a pregnancy that did not make his way here, because he's got that one with him, and he wants you to know that, because he's holding that little soul, and so he wants you to know that they're together. And he says, you would not have expected that of me.
Wow. Okay.
And so, but the other part about this is, he says, it's like he gets to be a dad there in a way. And so so I know that was something that he was really looking forward to. And so
from him, yeah, that's true. He did have, yeah.
And so just I hate to be repetitive, but he just wants to make sure that he understands how everybody was. It's like we're all laid down like dominoes, for lack of a better term, and fighting our way back. And he feels somewhat, he's using the word, he's saying that he's somewhat disappointed that people haven't supported better at times. It's like some people scattered away from the family. That's the way that he shows it. Like some people have scattered away from the family. And he says, don't worry about them. You've got a new group now. You have a new group. And take advantage of it, Amy. Take advantage of it.
I do. Yeah. It's actually, when you said the stress, it was COVID shutdown weekend that happened. So.
Tough. Yeah. Okay. There's just one last thing from him. I mean, his shirts and some of his things are they're still there. I know you still have quite a bit, actually. Some things that you found something in pocket of his jeans too, not all jeans, but pants, that you found some things, just something in one pair of pants in a pocket. But he says she keeps everything neatly folded but put away, so it's not even all hung up, but
Yeah.
you have it. And he says, I don't know what she's holding on to, because there's some little bits, like just things that you might just have on your desk that make no sense.
Oh,
It's with you too. And he says, it looks like it's in a box, because it's like you want to lift the lid, look inside, take a peek, and then put the cover back down on the box. And
Yeah.
he says, yeah, I don't know why you're keeping those things. I said, but they're for her, right? So he doesn't know why you're keeping some of these things, but you'll decide. You guys will feel when you're ready,
Yeah.
to.
Well, I have things, and then he lived with his girlfriend, so there's things there too. So
He doesn't want to force the issue of communication with you and her, or the family and her, forever. Okay. He doesn't want that to be the forever bond, if you will, because at some point she will move on, and he's good with that.
we hope she does.
Yeah. And he's good with that, and he will help. He will help her find another. No
Tell me.
no one is ever good as him, though, he says.
No.
But no one replaces another. So
Yeah.
but let me make sure I just give you a lot of love and appreciation, and would you please pass that on? I feel like I want to pass it on. Do you have a daughter? Like, is
Yes.
it here? Okay, please pass it on to her as well. All right, if she's open, please pass that on, because she doesn't feel like she did enough with him while they were here.
Yeah, I know she has some feelings probably about that.
Yeah, so if there's a way to share that with her, he says, knock it off.
Okay.
Very easy for him to say, but I'll leave you with a lot of love
Maybe.
for him. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
you. That was wonderful.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. All right, I have another male here, who we didn't get to have the closure we would have liked. Now, on again, we have another quick transition coming in. This connection is another quick transition. Wasn't of his doing. He's very clear on this. And guys, I really don't like to get too visceral, but because we're not locked into that memory. But in this point, I've got to go with the way that he's giving this, right? I know that that people tried to save him. It's a chaotic scene around him. I also know that he transitioned in the hospital. He is talking about not being a baby. So but he's talked about as my baby, and parents, they're always going to be your baby, right? And so I want to say that he's like in his mid 20s, so between like 24, 26, around that age. Really good at making a lot of people laugh. Really good at making people laugh. And yes, decisions had to be made, unfortunately, in that scenario with him. Okay.
So Marie is saying, my Jesse passed in the hospital at 26. He was loved by all. And Amy's saying that this could be piggybacking too with Brandon, because same thing for her. But maybe we should go to Marie. I don't know. Let's see. Could you possibly, does that sound okay with you, Amy?
Yeah. And the other person was, did you say Brandon?
Yeah, same person that you just spoke to with Amy.
Oh, no, this would be different. Okay.
Okay. So let's see. So for Marie, um, let's see if we can ask you to unmute. I just did, but it's not working. There we go. And now I'm going to add spotlight. There we go. So here,
Okay. Hi, Marie. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Hi, how are you going?
I'm good, thank you. And you could take all of this with him.
Yes, Jesse had an accident in his
Yep.
car. He was hit.
Okay, I'm sorry to be mean and cut you off direct, but I don't want you giving me too much information. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But what's clear with him here is well, aside from having his looks back, which is again, you know, important to him, and he smells good. He always smells good. So when you get that smell that reminds you of him, you know, that will be one of the ways that you'll know that he's around, right? It's very important because a couple of things. He talks really fast. He
Yes.
really talks fast. So a few things here. It was as though they had to play telephone to get you. So it was one call to another call to somebody reached you. And he wants to be very clear, because all I can feel with him is almost like just the wind is being a little bit knocked out of me, not what you think he experienced, right? And this goes for all interventions that were done, because this is, he says, this is my mom's biggest fear is, and this is where your mind goes, right? And that's normal, of course. But for him, he says the best parts were, oh, he's gonna make me emotional because he's sending so much love through. But the best parts is let them know. It's let them know. So it's more than you at the hospital with him, but let them know that I felt the touches and I heard the whispers. And he says, I don't know why they felt the need to whisper in the room, but I heard the whispers, and he desperately needs you to know that. And I'm seeing from him a greeting card, like a Mother's Day type card that you've recently looked at, because it has his handwriting in. And he says, see, Mom, you're still having that disconnections with me. This guy is really giving me goosebumps all over. And he's also saying to tell you to stop worrying about your hair so much and how you look, because he says, you know, it's not his fault, but he says that you keep thinking, look how I've aged since he left. And he says, you look beautiful, you look fine. And I want you to always remember that, because through his eyes, he's telling me I had a really, really good life while I was here. My family did everything for me. And he says, now here in the spirit world, he says, nobody has to look after me, Mom. I'm good. I get to look after you. I get to look after you. And it's his greatest honor to do so. And he's just a wonderful young man. And here's the thing, because he's quite lively and outgoing and things like this. I mean, people would come up to you after he's transitioned that you never met, that knew him. And he says, that still has not stopped, because when you need that pick me up, he says, I put them there. I put them there for you. And he wants to make sure that we say hello to everybody here in the group, because he says that when you go into a place, you're very respectful and you say hi to everyone. And so I'm going to say hello to all of you. And he says, I hope that you hear from me how well we are. And I notice the way that he says it, how well we are, that he's talking about everyone in the spirit world, not just him, but he likes to help uplift younger people as well. He's really good with younger people, and he likes nature. And so he's doing that in the spirit world as well. is he continues to uplift people. And he wants you to know, I have not changed at all. And please, if we can, anytime people are wanting to send messages to you, he says, can you tell them to get rid of the prayer hands? And I'm certainly no angel. So he has a really good sense of humor. So those emojis, he said, if you can ask them not to do those, okay? Because he says, when they crack jokes, he says, that is the light. That is the light, is when they crack jokes, they tease about me, because he said, my house was full of laughter. And my mom will still not buy a new sofa for herself to this day. So he is with you, my dear, but he's not only with you, you know, he's with everybody. And he's got such an uncanny way, well, like they all do, of being able to touch us all at the same time. So in that, there's like a chat group that you're a part of within your family and such, and everybody is getting memories on the same day, right within the same hour, he says. And so as you all share that, he says, see, I can be everywhere all at once. Isn't it magical? And he'd like you to think of it as him being in a magical place, like the storybooks you read to me when I was a child.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome, but let's thank him for just all of these young people. They're just such great communicators, aren't they? So I
Yes.
mean, you and your family, just tons of love from him. And you need to eat a little junk food too, okay? A little bit of junk food in his honor.
Thank you, Jessie. I
Tasted.
love you so much.
Yes.
Oh, goodness, that was just a beautiful reading. I just love that. And I just want to also remind Marie, we would love to see a picture of Jessie as well.
Mhm.
Validation story for the newsletter. This was just so much fun to listen to.
I like when they talk to the whole group.
Yes, it is really wonderful. And thank you for that. And yes, and we still have some time.
Yeah, I'd
So
like to, we could do one more, I think. We could do one more, and so allow us just a moment. They're sorting themselves out, so I'm not sure why we had such a rearrangement just now. But we did.
I love seeing this up. Imagining all these kids rearranging themselves.
They are, they really, oh, okay, here he is. Okay. Now I've got a definitely a teenager here, without a doubt. Like many teenagers, wants to be older than he was. So I see him closer to 14, 15, but he would like to think of himself like already 18, but that's not unusual for teenagers. But skateboarding, I'm hearing the skateboarding, you know, the ramps, the concrete, like I can hear it. And even wanting to, I can hear like the tightening of the tools. And he's telling me I didn't have the money for as many boards as I would like. And he also is telling me that I was sometimes bad because I took off some of my safety gear. You know, and so if mom asked him, did you wear your helmet and your badge? Yes, I did, but he did not always. So and it's not that he's a bad kid, it's just a kid, you know, doing his things. He calls, he's leaving empty calls, but the numbers are really funny. They're gonna match up to like his birthday or your birthday even, because the numbers are matching up to a date. So it's a peculiar call, and he's calling it an empty call because when you pick it up, there isn't a sound, no recording, no anything like this. And I know that a dog has joined him in the spirit world as well, which was rather important to him. So somebody's got to be able to take this young man. No one yet?
no one so far. Oh, here we have.
There we go. Oh, roller skating. Okay, that would sound the same to me, honestly.
Okay. Charmaine is saying my boy would be turning 15 and was into scooters. I don't know.
I wouldn't say the scooters would be the same thing. I'm sorry, Charmaine, I can't make that fit. The
Okay.
roller skating, that would be like at a skate park too. I really honestly I don't know. But
He was 28 as well, Elena's son. He wasn't 14.
Yeah, 28.
oh, okay.
So
No,
let's
that's
see.
on a little bit. That's on the older side, unfortunately.
Sure
Let
what
me
a
see
scooter
what else
is.
we can.
I know what a scooter is in India, but not in the States. I'm trying to think.
Scooters is one thing, but it's gonna. I can hear the sound. I can hear the sound of the you
Skate park.
know, yeah, sound. Or if they do that on skates, I don't know. In a park like that, I'm just not aware. Um,
Okay. So we have,
Scooters sound like skateboards.
and can be used in
It's in
skate.
a state
Okay.
park. Oh,
Okay. So
okay.
it must be the ones that have the handle.
Oh, the handle
I guess
scooter?
the
I was
handlebar.
thinking a motorized scooter.
I was thinking what people use in
Yeah, to get around. Okay.
India, they call, yes, but
Oh, a handle scooter.
yeah,
Okay. And that was around the right age. Is that
yeah, it was 15, yeah.
okay? Okay. All
So
right.
go to Charmaine then and
Yes.
ask her to unmute.
I was thinking not I didn't know you could do scooters in a skate park.
Okay, so Charmaine, let's see, let's see, we're gonna add this spot.
Okay.
There we go.
I did.
Hi.
Okay. And you could take pretty much all of this except for I just didn't understand the scooters thing.
Yeah, he also likes skateboards as well, but he rode his scooter more with his friends.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Well, you can't get quiet on me now. All right. Is it right that more than one of you have tattoos in honor of him? Okay. And one person that we would never expect to get a tattoo got a tattoo. Okay. All
Big
right.
brother.
Okay. So we're definitely with you all, and it's nice to see you as well. Except for so you're the brother. Can I get your first name so I can acknowledge you by name?
Or Johnny.
Johnny. Okay.
Yeah.
So Johnny, you don't have to try and make up for him. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're trying to make up for him not being here. And it's a lovely thing that you're trying to do for your family. He says, but instead it makes mom more nervous, is what he's saying. And he wants to make sure that you go and, as he puts it, fly through the world. Go and do your path. Go. That's the way he puts it. Fly through the world, because he says you have it in you, and you. I get it and I understand, but your belief has been shaken within yourself. And he says, and it's okay. Like it's okay to go fly. And I feel by what he's giving, and Charmaine can confirm this, but that you have been wanting this for Johnny, but you want him to go and fly, if you will, go be all of yourself, and yet you don't want to push, right? And what your son is saying here, and I should really have gotten everybody's son's name. It's not nice of me, but what your son is saying here is, no one is going to join me before their time. And it happened to be my time, even though it didn't appear to be so. This is what he's saying. And he's very clear about this, even though it didn't appear to seem so. And this is part of, it's as though he lived like 3 lifetimes in a short period of time. So active, so busy, and not overly materialistic. It's about fun things. That's the thing with him. So I'm like, did you sleep? because so active, almost to the point of, you know, he would just get so like, you know, like, can slow you down for a minute. All right. Can we just slow you down for a minute? But it's his excitement, in life, his excitement of, he just has this great, wondrous way of viewing the world and viewing people without judgment, which is rare. You know, it's a beautiful thing to have. And he does not feel judged. He feels appreciated and loved. And he needs you both to note that. Johnny, I know you have had a visit dream with him and you just were not sure, because you weren't sure, how do I take all this in? I want it to be real, but how do I don't know if I really believe in this. And I'm not going to use his words, but so I'll just say BS. You know, how can I believe in all of this? And he says that dream was to prove it. And you hear him and you talk to him and you make up playlists for him. He's letting me know. And it's so glad, I'm so glad you're on here today, because he really needed to acknowledge you directly in this manner. And I'm glad you joined in. And Charmaine, I'm the hearts are all for you. He showers them and puts them everywhere. Hearts. And it's even like sometimes finding a piece of confetti that makes 0 sense. Like, how can you find a heart confetti on the seat of your car? You know? And so, and you try to collect them, and then there's been a couple that like look like a leaf that's like blown away and you couldn't get it, and then you felt bad, like you don't have it as part of the collection, if you will. And he says, nonsense, absolute nonsense. He says, don't worry about that. There's plenty more to come your way. Plenty more. This young man is so appreciative for all that you all put up with with him. Because he was not only busy, but boy, did he have a little bit of attitude, you know? And it's like, he's like, I'm still right, you know, I'm still right. So, you know, but you can see how well he's doing in the spirit world. I mean, he's got me like lifted practically up out of my chair, you know, and this is the essence he wants to get across. And it's okay. It's okay. He says it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to swear at me. He says, I kind of like the swearing because it's kind of funny, but it's okay to be angry. You know, I can take it, you know. And he says, ooh, sometimes they use some words that I would never be allowed to say, but he can take it. And he wants it to know that he is more than great. And now he really does not need any padding either. So he's got such a collection. He's like, I've tried it all. I've tried the bikes, the skateboards, all of it. I have tried it all. But his exuberance is something that is hard. I'm hoping you're receiving some of it from him, because it's just so, talk about powerful. What a great young man. So let me leave you with this from him. And Johnny, go fly, buddy. Go fly. And lots of love to both of you and to the rest of your family, because I know there's a lot more that would have liked to have been here, but the messages will reach them. Okay. And I thank all of you for this as well. So.
Oh my gosh, that was just amazing. And Charmaine, you've got to send me something for the newsletter with a picture of your son, because oh my goodness, this is just so much fun. I love being able to watch these readings. I feel so uplifted. I think I feel your son's energy right now.
It's very, yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. And this has been a wonderful evening. I promise you, Amy, that I will get you the information, or that I will get the information from this evening to the person who needs it. And I'll just let her know before I announce it, but we'll let everybody know once we get that connection going. And Thank you so much for being here. Maybe you can just say a few closing words to let everybody know that all of our kids were here and that they're all uplifting each other and helping each other to communicate, if possible.
I am happy to do so. And let me just please state again, each and every reading that I have the opportunity to do is an honor. It's a deep honor and if there's anybody we're going to learn from is the people in the spirit world. And I know that there was some overlapping in there, and that is to reach more than one person at the same time. They know what they're doing, and it's important that we trust that they know what they're doing. Our role as the medium is to be their voice for a brief moment in time. And as I say that, please keep in mind that a lot of times we rationalize away signs, and then we feel bad about it when a medium validates that sign. Please don't feel bad about it. Please, because your loved ones know exactly what's happening. And what you want to do is say, I'm sorry I missed that sign. And if you could please keep giving me more signs in a way that I will understand them, I will catch them then. But when we tell you, and this is all mediums, when we tell you that your loved ones are doing well, we're not just trying to make you feel good. It's what they say. It is what they say. And they are loved and taken care of as unconditionally as possible, like the day they were born. So I will leave you all with that, and with the deepest respect and honor for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
I just have to tell you, that was beautiful, Amy, that Charmaine is saying that it's going to be Johnny's 18th birthday next week. So this is a beautiful birthday present for him. And everyone is saying how wonderful tonight was in the chat box. But thank you so much. We always ask everyone to unmute and say thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you,
Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful readings.
Thank you so much, and have a
Thank
wonderful evening, everyone.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
God bless.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.